Okay. This is the Somatic Cobra pose. And in this position, she's propped up on her elbows, almost like a Sphinx pose. And she's going to hold on to opposite elbows and have the legs straight back. How's your lower back feel? Is it okay here? Mm-hmm. Okay. Because it does give a little bit of compression into the lower back. It also stretches through the fronts of the hips, the lower abdomen, psoas area. So we're hitting lots of stuff here, as well as a little bit of strengthening for the upper back. So I'm going to have her press down into the arms and lift up through the chest. And then isometrically. So isometrically means we're not actually moving anything, but we're kind of doing the action of pulling. She's going to pull her arms toward the hips, and then from deep in her low belly, pull forward towards the arms. So we have both those opposing actions. Is that making sense for you? Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so what are you feeling when you do that?
A tightening in my low back.
Okay. Yep, so as she's doing that, these muscles are probably engaging a little bit here to support her, and then we're stretching more in the front. Are you feeling something in the front too?
I can feel, I don't know, I guess it's like a little, not, it doesn't, tightening doesn't seem like the right word.
Okay.
I feel something.
Okay, she's feeling something. Sorry. Well, let's see how it would feel for her to tuck her toes under and then lift the kneecaps off the ground, which is going to create a little bit more sensation through her front and back chain. So what changes for you when you lift your knees?
It feels good. I want to keep pressing my low belly into my pelvis down and stretching. I don't know. It feels really good in here.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. So then the same thing, we're going to press down into the arms and then pull the arms isometrically toward the belly and the low belly forward toward the arms to get that lengthening. And then keeping the heels reaching back, the knees are lifting and active. She's going to start a little sway, like looking over her one shoulder. And as she does that, she maybe might feel a little more stretch on that opposite side. Same time, she's going to keep that action of pulling with the arms and go nice and slowly, thinking about the rib cage drawing away from the hip. We often get tightness and shortening on the side body. So we're going to get like a little bit of decompression there in the side body. Now, as she continues this, as she looks over one shoulder, this is the lengthening side now. I want her to reach back even more through that leg, that heel, and see how that feels. Just add just a little bit more sensation of lengthening.
It feels nice.
Yeah, good. Still doing okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So let's come back to center, have a little rest, and we're going to add a couple of variations here. So give her a moment. You can come all the way down. Maybe you want to give your hips a little wiggle or a windshield wiper just to release that compression in the lower back. And we can see that as we do these somatic movements, certain areas of the body are getting that compression, certain areas are getting lengthening, and all that stimulation to the tissues is really beneficial for, kind of clearing things out, encouraging the energy flow, releasing what's stuck, what's stagnant, maybe what's short or tight. And also, we address that sensory motor amnesia. So maybe we have the gripping in some areas of the body that we're trying to release, or other areas that are maybe a little bit sleepy and we want to wake them up. So now we're going to do the side cobra. So I'm going to have her shift a little bit over to your left so that you can bring your right knee out to the side. Bring it in line with your hip. And do you feel like you need an extra blanket there under your knee? Okay. And then again, she's propped up in that same position, but I'm going to have her walk her upper body toward her right knee. So you're going to walk it over, and it creates a little bit more of a curvature over here on the left side. Now, if it's okay for her, we're also going to do that same toe tuck. So she's going to tuck her left toes under and lift the left kneecap off the floor. So that leg is really active. Same thing here. We're going to pull with the arms toward your belly and then turn to look at that knee And think about pulling your left rib cage away from your left hip as you anchor back into that heel. And so that we decompress and open up that left side body. So that'd be like an inhale to go into it, and then an exhale, just kind of soften it a little bit. And then she's going to just repeat that a few times. Pull and drag with the elbows. Pull the rib cage away from the hip, and then release. Okay, let's do that one more time, and then we're going to switch her over, even her out to our other side. You might do this a lot longer. I like to say about a minute or so on each side. And then we'll go ahead and release and come back to the center, and you can straighten your leg. Just take a pause and just have that neutral, just to kind of counter pose, just be in neutral. You can do those hip wiggles or windshield wipers. And it's a good idea to take those breaks, because this is giving the brain that moment to be able to notice what you did, to digest it, to create the brain maps that we talk about in our somatic work. So now she can shift a little over to her other side, and then bring the left knee out to the side. Walk your upper body over. Good. And then tucking right toes under. Activate that leg. Push back through the heel. And then again, so we're going to drag the elbows, pull with the elbows. And then a subtle release. She's going to move into it on the inhalation. That's that lengthening quality. And the exhale has that releasing quality. Are you feeling side to side pretty even, or do you notice a big difference?
I feel like this side is not as tight as the other side.
Okay. Yeah, often the case that one side is tighter than the other. So she felt like your left side was tighter. Yeah? Okay. So if you were doing this in your home practice, you could maybe balance that out by spending a little more time on the tighter side. Harder to do in a public class, because we're going to probably spend about equal time on both sides. So whenever she's ready, she can come back to center and release back to neutral. Take a few breaths and feel, sense, notice when we come into those pauses. Maybe do a little bit of a counter release if you feel like you want to. Any questions about that one, Lee?
No, that felt really nice.
Good.
It felt like I didn't realize how cinched up I was here.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's very common to feel that sort of restriction right at the lower hip area. We all tend to get a little slumped in our posture there. So now this next one is the last variation we're going to do in this video. She's going to hold opposite elbows again, and this time she's going to pick the feet up. And so what happens when you pick the feet up? Can you tell me how it might feel a little different for you?
No.
No, okay.
I feel like a tightening here when my feet come up. A little bit of a tightening.
Okay. Yeah, so as she bends the knees, there's more of a shortening in this back chain of fascia, right? So we're seeing here that with the legs bent, we're more contracted through the hamstrings and the backs of the knees, maybe even a little bit into the lower glutes. That might affect here in the lower back. So now she's going to do that same movement of that pressing into the arms, lifting through the chest, and you could take that little sway side to side. And with the legs, you know, in this bent position, sometimes we can get even a little more deeper stretch into the abdomen psoas area. Sometimes even add a little bit of a windshield wiper. So as I go to one side, maybe the legs want to come over a little bit. See how that feels for you. Does that add something good? Yeah?
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah, I like doing that too. One more round on each side. So all this could be good preparation. Also, if you're doing a back bending sequence, you could use some somatic warm-ups, some cobras, or even the rolling bridge to prepare for a back bending flow sequence as well. Okay, go ahead, release, and come all the way down. Take a breath or two. And then I would say after doing all that back bending work, might be a good idea to come back into a child's pose. So we'll let her take a pause in a child's pose. All right, and that is our somatic cobra. I'm just gonna give her a little extra stretch here. Let me know if you want more or less pressure there.
More, please.
Okay, you got it. I'll put all my weight into you. Okay. All right, so now we are going to